The Non-Aligned Movement Youth Organization has officially launched the NAMYO Volunteer Network Africa, described it as the largest volunteer network on the continent. Speaking at the event, the Vice Chairman for Africa, Bello Bala Shagari, said NVN Africa was created to move beyond rhetoric to action by engaging Africa's rapidly growing youth population in structured service, skills development, and leadership. He explained that the initiative, supported by a digital platform, will connect young people to education, volunteer opportunities, and public and private institutions while tracking and rewarding service and impact. The program will be piloted in Nigeria with plans to scale across Africa in phases, aligning with the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the African Union's Agenda 2063.
The NAMYO Volunteer Network is about putting people to work. It is evident that Nigeria's population is growing rapidly and Africa's population is expanding even faster. More than half of this population is made up of young people between the ages of 18 and 35. Unfortunately, many of these young people are left without skills, without access to quality education, and without jobs. This is the gap that NVN intends to fill. Young people, if not properly engaged and empowered, can easily become liabilities, not because they're incapable, but because opportunity is denied to them. This is why NAMYO Africa Regional Office has come up with this initiative, supported by a structural digital application that connects young people to education, service opportunities, and access to public and private institutions. NVN Africa is not an informal volunteer movement. It is a structured, verifiable system where service, skills, participation, and impact are tracked, recognized, and rewarded. This is a structure is what allows NVN to be trusted, scalable, and useful to communities, institutions. We are starting by piloting this initiative in Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa, and as a vice chair for Africa of the Non-Aligned Movement Youth Organization, and as Nigerian, it makes strategic sense to begin here. From Nigeria, we intend to scale this initiative to other countries across Africa in a clearly defined phases. I therefore challenge young people to come on board and see NVN Africa as an opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the community development, responsible citizenship, and climate action. This is our chance to build the kind of world we want to live in. The day the young people truly rise to the occasion, on this day, we begin to see the decline of crime, idleness, drug abuse, and many of the conflicts across Africa and the Sahel. Conflicts that are too often rooted in economic and social exclusion.
Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Aliyu Modibo, emphasized that leadership is earned through hard work, competence, and vision, urging young people to prepare themselves to take over responsibility from an aging generation. He noted that Africa's greatest challenge is often not corruption alone, but a lack of competence and innovation, calling on youths to seize opportunities, develop skills, and think boldly.
Any program or any event that has the young in mind and in focus is very dear to us and very important to all of us, particularly we, the older generation here, because it's a moment of, so to speak, passing the button. Already, I think that is beginning to happen in Africa, and particularly in Nigeria, where the new generation is beginning to emerge to lead the affairs of this country and the continent at large. Now, what does that entail? And we can tell you, for some of us that are a little bit older, approaching 70, my senior brother, the Sarki is much, maybe up to, already has passed the 70 mark. Just Ambassador Baraya is about my age, in our late 60s. But we want to tell you that leadership does not come on the platter of gold. We don't hand it over to you. It was not handed over to us. It was sheer hard work and sometimes being at the right place at the right time. Even though I think it was Edison or Einstein that said, success, whenever you see success in people, is 99% perspiration, 1% luck. So no matter what opportunity you have, or how connected you are, or the right, you still have to work hard. The gentlemen in uniform here know the grills that they went through before attaining the position that they have attained. So hard work, more hard work, and more hard work. Then number 4 will be being at the right time and seizing that moment. So what I want to say is that you have to be out there. Get it from us. We're already tired. You see us coming late for meetings. We don't used to be like this before. In the past, we would be here very early in the morning, excited that there's an occasion. But now we are tired, seriously. And we keep the recital because basically, and I even lately have begin to feel that one of the greatest Malay in Nigeria is, and Africa maybe at large, in certain countries, is not even the vices that we hear, corruption, this and that. It's more of incompetence, lack of competencies. Lack of competencies. So when you go to other countries, the reason why you see them accelerating is because there's competencies, and then they even go beyond because then they start thinking of new ideas. When I was Minister of Abuja, for some of you that may remember,
in a statement, Honorable Aliyu Gabi also urged Nigerians to rise collectively to confront national challenges, stressing that difficult times demand unity, patriotism, and active participation in nation building.
When the older generation, I will be turning 50 in January, when the older generation say power is not given, power is taken, I tend to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I try to tell the older ones to be a little bit cautious with this statement, because this statement could incite disruptive activities that could become counterproductive to the future that we seek to build. Captain Traore, who is a youth, took power that was not given to him on a platter, as did Goita, as did Mamadi, etc., etc. So I think what the older generation needs to be doing, or maybe my own generation, which is the end of their generation, is to begin to recount that power is not given rhetoric that I grew up with. Maybe we should say, power is not given, power is taken, but responsibly so. I thought I should just take that out of my mind. Then the second issue, again, and I'm glad my younger brother mentioned a word that is very dear to me, exclusionism. As long as it is the elite talking to the elite, trying to understand a problem from the perspective of the elite to provide a solution that the elite will never encounter because they do not know the problem, then the problems will persist. Lack of inclusion, lack of inclusivity, whether social inclusion, political inclusion, not necessarily financial inclusion, is the bane of our existence, and it is what has put us on this dangerous trajectory where we have all sorts of deviant behavior that inadvertently have been triggered by our own processes of exclusionism.